Imagine walking down a hallway at night only to feel a cold hand brush against your arm, but when you turn around, no one's there. Welcome to the realm of the paranormal. In the quiet corners of our world, where shadows stretch and the moon casts a silvery glow, something unseen stirs. It's a world that exists alongside ours, an unseen realm where the ordinary rules of reality bend and twist into the extraordinary. This is the world of the paranormal, a realm that's home to mysteries that stretch the boundaries of our understanding. These aren't just stories spun around campfires to send a delicious shiver down your spine. No, these are real experiences, recounted by ordinary people who've had extraordinary encounters. They've heard the unexplainable whispers in the dead of night, seen objects move with no apparent cause, felt unseen hands, and watched apparitions fade into thin air. And it's these tales we're about to delve into. In this realm, we'll explore the chilling, the thrilling, and the downright spine-tingling. We'll investigate hauntings that echo through time, leaving a trail of whispered stories and hushed conversations. We'll sift through accounts of paranormal activity, where reality seems to warp and twist, where the ordinary suddenly becomes anything but. We'll venture into the shadowy world of poltergeists and phantoms, of whispers in the wind and the cold touch of unseen hands. We'll listen to the stories of those who've seen beyond the veil, who've peered into the unknown and returned with tales that defy explanation. But remember, in this realm, nothing is as it seems. The creak of a floorboard, the flicker of a light, the whisper of the wind. Could these be mere coincidences or the work of something unseen? A chill down your spine, a feeling of being watched, a shadow that moves just at the edge of your vision. Is it simply your imagination? Or could it be a glimpse into the paranormal? Hold on tight as we journey into the world of the unknown, where the eerie and inexplicable reign. Our first stop takes us to a place where history and horror intertwine. Picture a grand Victorian mansion standing tall and proud, its stone walls echoing tales from a bygone era. This is the heart of our first haunting story. The mansion, once a symbol of prosperity and grandeur, is now infamous for its paranormal activities. This haunting tale begins in the late 19th century, when the mansion was in its prime, home to a wealthy industrialist and his family. Life was splendid, filled with elaborate parties and laughter, but under the glittering surface, a tragic tale was unfolding. The industrialist's daughter, a beautiful young woman named Elizabeth, fell madly in love with a man her father deemed unsuitable. Heartbroken, she was confined to her room, her tears seeping into the very walls of the mansion. One fateful night, consumed by despair, Elizabeth disappeared, leaving behind only an empty room and a house filled with grief. Ever since that night, residents and visitors to the mansion have reported strange occurrences, unexplained footsteps echoing through the empty halls, whispers in the dead of night, and the chilling sensation of being watched. The most unsettling of all is the apparition of a young woman, believed to be Elizabeth herself, forever trapped within the confines of her former home. Over the years, the mansion's reputation has grown, attracting paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Some come in search of thrills, others to communicate with Elizabeth, hoping to provide her with the peace she was denied in life. Despite the countless eyewitness accounts and recordings, the mansion's haunting remains shrouded in mystery, a chilling reminder of the past's grip on the present. As daylight fades, the mansion's grandeur gives way to an eerie stillness. The laughter and music of past parties are replaced by an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant echo of a woman's sobs. The mansion, once a beacon of joy and prosperity, now stands as a testament to a tragic love story and a life cut short. But as the sun sets, this historical haven turns into a hub of hauntings. What would you do if you were faced with a phantom? Now, let's delve into the accounts of those who've had the chilling experience of confronting this unseen entity. Our first account comes from a woman named Sarah, a tenant of the house in the late 70s. She reported strange happenings such as unexplained noises, flickering lights, and objects moving on their own. But perhaps the most terrifying incident was when she saw a spectral figure standing at the foot of her bed in the middle of the night. She described it as a shadowy figure, almost smoke-like, with a distinct human form. Next we have James, a skeptic turned believer. He was a guest at the house in the early 80s. James had initially dismissed the stories of the haunting as mere superstition. That was until he encountered the phantom himself. He woke up to a cold touch on his arm and turned to see a faint figure disappearing into the darkness. He was left with a chilling sensation and an unshakable feeling of being watched. We also have accounts from a group of paranormal investigators who visited the house in the 90s. They reported a strange, oppressive atmosphere in the house, a sense of dread that couldn't be easily dismissed. Their equipment picked up unexplained readings, and several members of the team claimed to have seen the phantom in different parts of the house. These accounts, while varied, share a common thread. They all describe a presence, an entity that defies explanation. The descriptions vary from shadows and cold spots to full apparitions, but the underlying sensation of unease remains consistent. These encounters serve as a chilling testament to the haunting, a spectral echo of a presence long gone. This brings us to the end of our third segment, where we've delved into the experiences of those who've come face to face with the unseen entity haunting the house. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes our senses may perceive more than we can comprehend. As we delve deeper into the depths of these disturbances, theories begin to form. Let's explore some of the most compelling explanations for the paranormal activity we've been discussing. First, we have the scientific perspective. Some experts suggest that what we perceive as paranormal could be due to environmental factors. Changes in electromagnetic fields, infrasound, and even mold exposure can cause experiences often associated with hauntings. These include feelings of dread, seeing shadowy figures, or even hallucinations. Then there's the psychological perspective. Our minds are powerful and complex. They can create vivid experiences that feel incredibly real. Stress, sleep deprivation, or certain mental health conditions could potentially manifest as paranormal experiences. The power of suggestion also plays a significant role here. If we expect to see or feel something, our minds might just make it so. However, it's impossible to ignore the supernatural perspective, especially when dealing with phenomena that defy conventional explanations. Could it be possible that we're dealing with entities from another realm or dimension? Could these apparitions be the spirits of those who once lived, unable to move on due to unfinished business or strong emotional ties to the physical world? But what about the theory of residual hauntings? This theory proposes that certain events can leave an energetic imprint on the environment which can then replay over and over like a ghostly echo of the past. And let's not forget the possibility of poltergeists, often thought to be mischievous or malevolent entities capable of physical interaction with our world. Objects moving of their own accord, strange noises, unexplained temperature drops, these are all trademarks of alleged poltergeist activity. Each theory brings its own set of questions and potential answers. Some favor one perspective over others, while some believe it's a combination of factors. Yet the truth remains shrouded in shadows, a mystery as elusive as the apparitions themselves. From one spectral saga to another, we now venture into a story that defies the laws of the living. In the heart of rural England, there exists a tale so chilling that it has passed down through generations, untouched by time's relentless march. The tale of the phantom farmer, a spectral figure known to haunt a centuries-old farmstead, is our next eerie encounter. The story begins in the late 1800s with an aging farmer named Thomas. Renowned for his steadfast commitment to his land, legend has it that Thomas vowed to protect his farmstead even in death. After his passing, strange events began to unfold. Unseen hands opening gates, nocturnal whispers in the wind, and an ethereal figure seen tilling the fields under the moonlight. What makes this story truly fascinating, however, is the tangible evidence that supports these eerie occurrences. Numerous eyewitness accounts affirm the presence of the phantom farmer. Residents, visitors, even skeptical investigators have reported seeing a spectral figure, often accompanied by the faint sound of old farming songs carried on the breeze. In the early 2020s, a group of paranormal investigators set up camp in the farmstead, equipped with state-of-the-art equipment. Their mission was to debunk the legend of the phantom farmer. But instead of debunking, they found themselves documenting strange electromagnetic fluctuations, inexplicable cold spots, and even capturing a ghostly figure on their infrared cameras. These documented findings, available for public viewing, provide a compelling case for the existence of the phantom farmer. But as with any paranormal phenomena, the evidence leaves room for interpretation. Some view it as undeniable proof of a haunting, while skeptics propose alternative explanations, from optical illusions to elaborate hoaxes. In the realm of the paranormal, fact often blurs with fiction, leaving us questioning what we truly know. Every eerie encounter leaves us with more questions than answers. As we delve deeper into our second haunting narrative, the shadows of uncertainty begin to loom larger. The evidence we have, the testimonies we've heard, They all seem to point towards something that defies conventional explanation, but what is it exactly? Let's take a closer look. The unexplained noises, the chilling apparitions, the feeling of being watched. These are not just random occurrences, they form a pattern. A spectral signature, if you will, unique to this haunting, and this pattern suggests an intelligence at work. A presence that is not just aware, but also capable of interacting with the physical world. Could it be a ghost, a spirit trapped between realms, trying to communicate or perhaps seeking closure? This is a possibility that many paranormal investigators would consider. These entities, they argue, often carry the emotional and psychological imprints of their past lives, which could explain the specific nature of their manifestations. Or could it be a poltergeist? A form of paranormal phenomena often associated with intense emotional states, particularly stress or trauma. Some experts suggest that poltergeist activity could be a form of psychokinesis, an unconscious expression of psychological turmoil. Yet there's also a more skeptical perspective. Could these experiences be the result of heightened suggestibility, a psychological response to the power of suggestion? The human mind is a complex and powerful tool, capable of creating vivid experiences that feel incredibly real. And let's not forget the possibility of hoax or misinterpretation. The world is full of natural phenomena that can often be mistaken for the supernatural, from the creaking of an old house settling to the play of light and shadow that can trick the eye. As we unravel the unknown, we must keep an open mind, yet remain grounded in critical thinking. We must question, investigate, and explore every possible explanation, no matter how unlikely or unsettling it may be. And as we peel back the layers of the unknown, we are left with a chilling realization. The world is far more mysterious than we could ever imagine. As our journey into the paranormal comes to a close, we are left with a sense of wonder, awe, and perhaps a touch of fear. The threads of our narrative have woven a tapestry of the unexplainable, painting a picture of a world that exists just beyond our understanding. We delved into the heart of historic hauntings, where echoes of the past reverberate through time, causing goosebumps to rise and hearts to pound in the present. We heard first-hand accounts from witnesses of the Wraith, individuals whose lives have been forever altered by their encounters with the spectral realm. We dared to analyze the abnormal, taking a magnifying glass to the mysteries that have baffled skeptics and believers alike. We stepped beyond the believable and into the realm of the extraordinary, where common sense is replaced with questions, and reality intertwines with the inexplicable. In Unraveling the Unknown, we've unearthed more questions than answers. Each story, each witness account, each piece of evidence adds another layer to the enigma that is the paranormal. And yet, the truth remains elusive, hidden in the shadows, dancing just out of reach. Our exploration of the supernatural has led us down winding paths and into dark corners. We've discovered that the world is not as black and white as we might like to believe, but rather, it's filled with shades of gray that blur the lines between the living and the dead, the natural and the supernatural. As we step back from this haunting journey, we're left to ponder the stories we've heard, the evidence we've seen, and the questions that remain. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of hauntings and paranormal activity is the enduring mystery that surrounds them. They challenge our perceptions of reality, they defy explanation, and they remind us that there's so much more to our world than meets the eye. Remember, the next time you feel a chill run down your spine, it might not be just the wind. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.